Hi, this is Ken Morton Jr. with MortonGolfSales.com. I am our Vice President of Retail and Marketing, and I'm here to chat about the new Ping Blueprint iron. In my 30 years of doing buying, this is a major evolution and a return of sorts to Ping's roots. Ping started out as a putter company, but shortly thereafter actually came out with the very first perimeter weighted iron. They actually did a scoop out of a forged iron. It actually had a bent shaft to it to make it offset. And it was so popular and so effective that at the time, the USGA, the United States Golf Association, actually came out and ruled the shaft element illegal. And they actually had to go back to the drawing board a little bit and actually redesign the golf club. And actually, the reason why we have offset hosels now was actually an original Ping design. Ping has had cast golf clubs since those early days and has modernized iron designs in nearly every way. They have perimeter weighting and different inserts and all kinds of design elements to make golf clubs as forgiving as they can. Meanwhile, out on tour, a lot of the tour players are still using forged golf clubs because they love the feel. We get lots of questions about the difference between cast and forged golf clubs. A cast golf club is actually where they take molten steel and they heat it up and then they pour it into a mold. A forged golf club is where they actually take a billet of steel and actually stamp it under tons of pressure, and then actually a drill actually comes out and mills out the putter, or in this case, an iron head. The difference between the two is a couple-fold. Imagine on that poured molten steel in there, kind of like bread. There's little pockets of air. It's not quite as consistent as something being stamped under all those tons of pressure. So the density of the metal, the consistency of the metal, the grain of the metal is just a little bit more consistent on a forged golf club. More importantly though, by heating that metal and pouring into the mold, the hardness on that is much harder than a forged golf club. This is called 8620 forged steel. It's extremely soft, and the pros like that forging because it gives them an incredible feel as they're hitting that golf club. When you hear the pros talk about how they hit it like butter, that butter is that nice soft forged feeling. But again, leave it to Ping to not take a kind of classic element but not put a whole bunch of R&D into it. So first of all, that 8620 steel is one of the best, most modern, most grain forgings that they have. But this little element that they've put on here on the very end of the golf club that you'll see there is a tungsten screw. Tungsten weighs about 3 to 4 times that of titanium. It's extremely dense, extremely heavy. And the knock on forgings all the time is that the center of gravity was down towards the heel, that when you hit it out towards the toe, it would actually have a little bit of a dead feeling, and the farther you hit it out on the toe, the shorter the ball would go. But what Ping knows is that if you can bring the center of gravity out towards the toe of the golf club, which they've done with that tungsten screw, they actually bring the CG towards the middle of the golf club. So this is the very first forged clubs that Ping has ever done where the CG is actually right in the middle of the golf club. Then they also have taken that design element out there, and if you'll see the little rotation of metal there on the back, it leaves more weight out on the toe, adding some additional weight to the tungsten weight out there. And last but not least is the finish. This is actually a finish that they've been putting on several of their cast irons. It actually repels water, and actually when you're putting it through the grass, actually repels the grass. This finish versus a different finish, this actually slides through the grass faster and without catching the grass better than if they were just to leave it raw. So again, new Ping Blueprint iron, brand new, really takes the classic forging element and modernizes it to today's design features, and those great engineers at Ping have done a great job.